Oh my god. I look so fat. It's nice and warm up here.
Yeah, a little warm,
My hair is growing out.
Okay, you're rolling.
Alrighty. Hey, what's up? Oh. Welcome to the Ocean Angel 5, the OA5. My name is Katie. I'm your captain. What do I say? Let's
Talk
see.
about what you do on the boat.
Okay, so I've been commercial fishing for about 3 years. I'm a deckhand and a cook, and I navigate, drive. We call it driving. Let's see. I pile web. I do pile corks and leads sometimes. Very physically strenuous work. I run hydros. I drive at night, hunt, and I cook, which is probably the hardest job, cooking for 4 different men, 3 meals a day, every single day. Very, very challenging work to keep these guys fed. We're working so hard, a lot of physical work, that just like keeping up with the food is a job in and of itself. And then you also have to do like the same amount of deck work. It's a lot. We don't get a lot of sleep. Everyone is very sleep deprived usually. We take shifts driving at night. There's a lot of searching for the fish, hunting for the fish, a lot of wheel watch going on. I think one of the most challenging things about being on the fishing vessel out here is the lack of creature comforts. Not every boat even has like a hot shower, so you don't always get to shower every week. There's your bed is really small. It's a bunk bed. One of my bunks was 2 feet wide. There is no Wi-Fi, no cell service, no TV, no connection to the outside world a lot of times, and so you're really very isolated. It's cold, uncomfortable, long hours, no sleep, no friends. You know, you can't, like, when people are really stressed out, they usually turn to something to make them feel better, and you don't have any of that out here. It's all stripped away. So I think it's more of a mental challenge than it is physically. It's very physically demanding. It's the hardest thing I've ever done, but I think it's even more challenging on the mental side because it really makes you face yourself, and how are you going to deal with situations when you don't have the normal things that you're used to go grab and make you feel better. So it's an amazing profession to be out here and to get to feed the world and to know that you're providing something for that, for the world. I mean, something that almost everyone eats. And a lot of, I think what kind of bothers me is that a lot of people say negative things like, oh, you're raping the ocean, or you know, you're killing wildlife. But what people don't realize is they've probably never been fishing, the people that say that. America has some of the strictest regulations in the world when it comes to fishing. California and Alaska, the West Coast specifically, are very strictly regulated, and there is no overfishing. Oh, okay, our captain's coming.
You guys recording audio up there?
Yeah, we are.
I'll turn the generator off. It'll be a little better for you.
That's okay. It's actually not cumbersome at all. Do you want it off?
I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah. No, it's fine. Let him do his work.
That was good stuff.
Cool. Okay.
Window again.
So give you a little show around. This is all of our monitors. They're not on right now, but obviously we have God, I don't even know all the terminology for it. We have can't even think.
Well, you have depth sounders, fish
We have
finders.
depth sounders, yes. We have GPS trackers that show us the map of where all of the rocks are in the ocean, which is radar to show us if anyone is coming next to us. These are all of the radios. So for Coast Guard, etc., Mayday, Mayday. This is our wheel. Like every ship has a wheel, and we have had to drive this. One time we actually we lost all power. We didn't have any autopilot. No autopilot, no electricity, no generator, no motor, no nothing. And we had to actually steer it by the wheel, like in the dark. None of our computers were working. It was so fucking scary.
Well, that's how
Going through the
sailing will
going through the shipping lane with like no screens, no monitors. You don't know who's coming. You can't see, and you're just literally steering it by hand. Yeah, raw dogging it. That's old world style, old world sailing. Long before technology, and people actually had to know their charts. Yeah.
What's the tonnage on this? Do you know?
How many tons we can catch? I think we're at 60 ton.
On the tape, but what is the boat? What's the tonnage on the boat?
What does it weigh?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. I wonder if Jason knows. Jason!
What is a typical catch, tonnage-wise?
Ideally, 20 to 40 ton would be ideal, but lately, for the past year, it's been 1 to 10. Yeah.
For the total trip?
Yeah. Maybe 15 or 20. I mean, within the past few weeks, people were catching 40 ton, 30 ton, 25 ton, but that was like the only pop that we saw. So, I mean, you could make 5-10 sets in a night and go back with 20 ton, but I mean, you're catching like 2-ton sets. So
What did you guys do on your last trip?
we got Chinese soup.
What is that?
Wonton.
1 ton. Oh,
Yeah.
man. So not a good trip then.
No, but at least it was something. Probably covered fuel.
And then after this, you're heading back up to Alaska and why?
Oh, for summer salmon fishing.
Can you tell us about that real quick?
Okay, so during the summer, I go up to Alaska salmon
wait, let's
fishing.
restart that. So you're gonna leave tell them you're gonna leave the squid boat, and then you're gonna sail to Hawaii, and briefly what you expect out of that, and then you're gonna be going from there back to Alaska, and what you do there.
Okay, yeah. So
And it's not in like 20 minutes, whatever you can.
Yeah. Okay.
Whatever
So,
you're comfortable with.
I guess
no stress on it.
here, squid fishing here. Okay. So the plan is once we wrap up the season here, which might be very soon, then sail to Hawaii, and that will probably take about a month at least, 6 weeks. And then I'll go back to Alaska for salmon fishing in May.
What goes on with the salmon fishing?
What do you mean? What goes on with it?
So, where in Alaska are you going to be going, and what do you do there? I mean,
Okay.
just briefly, not elaborately.
Okay, sure, yeah. So I go up to Southeast Alaska. We port out of Ketchikan and Sitka for salmon fishing. We do different runs. The sockeye run is first, and then we do the silvers and the kings, and then the humpies and the chums or the dogs are the last thing that we fish for. They come in the fall. So we go up and down the southeast coast of Alaska. They call it the Misty Fjords, and it's like thousands and thousands of little islands all throughout that tail leading down to Canada, and it's actually classified as a rainforest. It's so beautiful. I mean, there's waterfalls and moss everywhere. There's also, the cool part about getting to go up there is sometimes, like at the end of the season, there's a couple of islands with some natural hot springs on them, So if Captain is feeling generous or whatever, he'll take us, stop by one of those islands and let us like soak in the hot springs at the end of the season. It's worth it. I usually pile web, but my crew, we like to switch off so that we can each like pile whatever. Corks are really hard. They're probably one of the hardest just because it's so rolly and it's hard to stand on them. So you're constantly like falling over. The leads are also hard because they're so heavy, and if like a bite of leads falls on you, you could be seriously injured. The web is hard because that's where all the jellyfish fall, so you're always getting hit by the jellyfish. So I mean, each position is equally, challenging. And I do that, and I cook and navigate. It's an amazing time. There's always 2 weeks of boat prep beforehand, where we take the boat off the grid, out of the water, onto the grid, and we like power wash all the barnacles off the bottom, stuff like that. Yeah, and then a couple of weeks of boat work post season.
What are you gonna do in Hawaii?
I don't know. That is yet to be determined. So it would be amazing if we could sail down there and then I could spend my spring in Hawaii. I feel like I haven't had warm weather in almost 3 years. I've been cold this whole time. So it would be really nice to actually like see some sun and water that I can swim in. I love being on the ocean, but I actually want to get in the water and swim in it. It's much too cold to do that out here.
Perfect. Anything else you want to add to it?
Let
me stop
probably,
it for a second.
I can't
I have to. I can't have